inside, limit our ability to interact and continually to interact with people, I think it adds another layer of lack of hope, another layer of bleak to our day that sometimes people can't just get out of. And I think you've seen that there has been an increase in suicide. There has been an increase in other issues with people who do have to stay at home in situations that are not healthy for them. So I was praying and hoping and working through a lot of these issues, and I'm sure you have as well, that I just continue to pray. I continue to read my Bible. I continue to communicate. We've had a tremendous staff, continue to have online team meetings with our executive staff and our directors weekly to just deal with this time, deal with the changes, deal with every single day there was something new that we had to talk about, that we had to handle, that we had to deal with. But I'm really looking at the pandemic not as a crisis, but as a season, because we know that in everything, even with our challenges, whether they be on the court or on the fitness in the gym or with our families and our businesses, these are seasons of life. And seasons, as we know, they move. They change, they're temporary. And knowing that they're temporary, that continues to bring us hope that tomorrow there's always something better. There's something that we can control, that we can get back to, that whether we get back to some normal or maybe a new normal that's even better than before, we have the power to bring something good out of what we've experienced. And more than anything, I hope that you see Blaze as an organization and an entity that you can connect with, and that you know that we can get through a pandemic, we can get through a crisis, because we're always looking at them and figuring out how to pivot in our business, how to adjust to the times, how to take what we're confronted with and make it better. And we've done a lot of work on the back end to make this better for you, to deal with the business stuff that we need to deal with, but to provide what we do in different ways. We started new processes in delivering our services to our families online. So for example, our fitness director, Chris Meister, she took her staff and started videotaping every single day all of the fitness workouts, and continued to provide those for 2 months for free to our members. Our trainers, Gage and Allie, got together with Brett Wichow and Lake and James, and we put those basketball trainings online with YouTube. Emma Kane got together with her volleyball staff and created volleyball trainings for all of our teams who unfortunately their seasons got cut short. So if anything, I would say that even though this season of life was difficult, we have such a tremendous staff that can adjust and deal with whatever they're facing in front of them and come out making it better for our staff, better for our clients and our members. So that way we don't miss a step. We want you to know that no matter what, we're always working for you to make things better. And really, whatever we call it, it is what it is. So if we call it a crisis, it's going to be a crisis. But if we call it a season, it's just going to be a season. And I think that will bring the perspective that we need to continue to move forward. And the key to life really is outlasting the season of crisis and coming together as a staff, as a program, as an organization, and just being better together. And we want nothing more than to get back to the gym, get back to our programs, and continue to experience life and sports and fitness with you, because we do miss that interaction. We really miss that interaction. In the last few weeks, we've been able to bring back our staff, and which would allow us to continue to provide services for you. And it is a difference. It is a complete difference when we can get into the gym and we can talk to each other and we can laugh and we can play and we can just make life together. It's absolutely something that I think we all want and we all miss. And so I do want to just really quick, and I don't know if this is possible, but maybe it is. I would like to just point out a few people that I don't think everybody may know. And I'm going to just call up their names, and I'm going to actually, if I can find them really quick, I'm going to pin them. Hopefully you can see who they are, because they have made a huge impact in this journey the last 2 months, and without them, I think you would agree, your time at home would not have been as great, maybe. So the first person I just want to point out, and I don't know if all of our volleyball coaches are on this call. Thank you. All of our volleyball directors on this call, but I'm going to just point out Emma Kane. She's right here. And Emma, I'm going to just pin you really quick, and I'm going to unmute you, and I'm just going to put you on the spot, if you don't mind. Where did your little mute go? Yeah, I got to get back out under pin. Oh, shoot. Yeah, hold on real quick. There you go. Now I'm unmuting you. Oh, where'd you go? There you are, Emma. Okay. Emma did a fabulous job in a very difficult situation. We had 12 volleyball teams and 10 girls, 2 boys, and literally we started back in October, and this has been the best season ever. We've had teams that were continuing to earn medals every tournament they went to. Families were happy, the kids were happy, people were progressing and getting better. And a lot of that, the coaches felt like they were working together as a team. They were relying on each other. It was the first year that we were in the Champion Center. And Emma really had a lot to do with making sure that we got to this point as an organization over the last few years. So I just want to give her just a minute to like say hi and just say something. So if you can share, that would be awesome.
Well, like Lisa mentioned, I am very ill prepared for this. I was really expecting to just listen in tonight. But I have to put all the kudos on my coaches and my coaching staff, and then extend that kudos out to all of our volleyball families. From day one, they rolled with it. They never once got angry. They never once started the riots. That we were concerned that we might have some backlash naturally with having to pause our season midway. And they were so supportive. I had a number of families reach out, say, what can we do? Can we help in any way? Let us know. And coaching staff too, from checking in on each other. I had coaches offer to, if people needed meals made because they were out of work, to connect with them. And we had a number of families donate to keep things going at Blaze. So really it's a testament to the great group of individuals, families, and athletes that we've really built in this community. So all the kudos to them.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma. And I will now turn it over to Chris. If you don't know who Chris Meister is, she is our fitness director and has been an integral part of growing the Blaze, providing, she's there with her family. Oh, there you go. Yep, that's our family. There's Deb. And she has, right, hey, Callie, hey, Cass. I'm going to pin you right now. So we're on Callie. Don't unmute it. I'm unmuting you. Oh, okay. Can you talk, Chris?
I'm not sure. Can you
There we go. Good. Okay.
There we go.
All right. There you go. So there's Chris. Can everybody see Chris? Say yes. Okay, Emma, can you see Chris? Okay, great. So I just want to introduce you to Chris Meister. If you don't know Chris, she's the like love-hate part of Blaze. Like people absolutely love Chris, but sometimes they hate her workouts. So, but they know they're good for them, and she has helped people just change their lives in so many ways. And she is representing, wow, our fitness trainers have, the number of our fitness trainers have grown, and they've been tremendous. So I will just turn it over to Chris so that you can say a little something to our Blaze organization.
I'm just super excited to have everybody back. I guess that's just the thought of us opening the doors makes me happy, but we did know from day one that we were going to communicate with our members, staying close and connected and supply the workouts, but also just the relationships, to know that we were here through the ups and downs, and just trying to keep it positive, knowing that it's just, like you said, kind of like a season, a short time, and we'll get through it, but we'll do what we can to get there, and we'll be here when you come back, most of all. So it was pretty cool to be able to stay connected with everybody and keep our private Facebook page too alive, and help everybody through it. Everybody dealt with it in a different way and has been affected differently. So I was glad I was able to reach out to them. And my instructors have been awesome. They've all stepped up to the plate, provided the workouts. And not only that, they did the workouts themselves. So there was a lot of motivation and encouragement and positivity throughout these last couple of months, even though it wasn't always easy. So
awesome. Thank you so
We
much,
love you, Chris.
Chris. I love that. The next person I
I
just
can't
want to
hear
introduce
Lisa.
you
Is there-
to, if you aren't familiar with, is, and I just got to quick find them, is Gage and Allie. So there are lead basketball directors, and Allie's coming on a little bit more to help on the sports and marketing side of things. And if I can find them in the 3 pages, that'd be great. Gage, I see you. So I'm going to unmute you first, if that's okay. If you want to just introduce yourself to those who don't know you, and just share a little bit about how things have been going for you and what we've done.
Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, most of you should. My name's Gage Mady. I'm the basketball director at the Blaze. I just hope you all are doing well and staying happy and healthy. It's pretty much what we can all do at this time. It's nice to see all the faces from tryouts and past seasons and all that good stuff. So just from the bottom of my heart, I really hope you guys have handled the last couple months really well and have used that time to spend some quality time with your families and grow together as a family. That's obviously the most important thing. Just the last thing I want to say is I'm glad that things are starting to turn a little bit. It seems like life is starting to come back online. This is a good time for us to really take a deeper look into ourselves and what we're trying to accomplish in each of our lives.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gage. And I was just looking for Allie. I think if you don't know Allie Gwitz, she has come on, just recently graduated from UW Oshkosh. And if you haven't seen the most recent update, she actually applied to the head girls varsity basketball position that was open at Appleton West and got it. So she's pretty amazing. She's, I would say, a 21-year-old that has the brain of a 42-year-old. And if you've ever spoken to her or worked with her, you would experience that the first second. She's also our general manager of our Blaze professional men's basketball team. So she's pretty awesome. I don't see her on this.
She said she got kicked out.
Oh, she got kicked out?
Yes, like that.
Oh, I wonder if there's
She's
a
having
match.
technical difficulties.
Oh, it probably is. We're at 100 participants right now, so I'm concerned that or might be at our max. So if there is one, this is our first time, so this is good. Way to show up. Half the time is just showing up. The next couple people that I want to introduce to you is our executive staff. A lot of people don't necessarily see these two individuals, but they work hard to make sure that everything is streamlined for you, that all the logistics are taken care of. So their work really sometimes goes unnoticed because they're on the back end. And actually you see a lot on the front end, but you don't realize who's behind it. And that is Jenny Moeller, who is our accountant. And that might seem weird, like, okay, the accountant is important, but she is, because we do have families who have needs above others and struggle, whether it's with payments or ability to participate. And so Jenny is somebody who she's on the phone all the time. She's listening to people. She is assessing where people are at, what we can do. And now that we have our Blazing Hearts nonprofit, she's really kind of the go-between between Blazing Hearts and our families as of right now, to make sure that we're supporting people who are in need. And Jenny, are you out there? Because, hon, I do not see your name at all. Doesn't look like it. But I'm going to move on to the next person who I do know is here, which is Janie Lang. She is our vice president and our marketing director. And Janie, I'm going to unmute you. Now, I have to say, Janie is, they're all special. And I think, if anything, Janie has represented all of those parents who've stayed home, worked from home, and had multiple kids at home and tried to do it all. She's one of those super moms and has been extremely supportive of me, and that's my little young man, Hudson, who we train, who's on our Blaze basketball team. So there's a lot of connections, and this is what our meetings typically look like. Hi, Hudson. So we'll meet, and Hudson will pop in, and he'll say a little something to us, and give us the word of the day. And I'm sure that's happened to a lot of you as well. So Janie, can you say something? I just want to make sure. It's so quiet over on your end.
Yes, we're here, and I'm actually have us going Facebook Live right now since our Zoom call is full. So you are now broadcasting on Facebook as well.
Well, I better fix my hair. Okay.
If anybody gets messages that somebody can't get in, direct them to Wisconsin Blaze Facebook, and they can tune into the State of Blaze message as well.
Yeah, I just realized that we have 100 participants right now, so we must have locked out other people who are trying to get in. Oh, now we're down to 99, so the next person can get in. So, Janie, do you want to say a little something about the last 2 months and our just time and experience here? Anything that you want to say to the families?
We just appreciate all the support from the families and hope that we've been able to try to provide some services of value, whether it's online trainings for fitness or basketball, or support through volleyball through the coaches, and just hoping we could be there for you at this time. And we can't wait to see everybody back at the facility very soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janie. Okay, so I will just pin my video for now. So right now, I'm going to move on now that Janie mentioned, and I would love to introduce all our coaches. If you don't know them, you will know them soon if your child is on their team. If you don't know our fitness instructors or coaches, please, if you see anybody that's wearing a Blaze shirt, and that might be everybody, but if they look like a staff member, please make sure you get to know them a little bit, because everybody does impact our organization in some way. We're all interconnected. We all influence each other. We work together. And you may not know it, but everybody in our organization impacts each piece of our organization in some way. So right now, let's talk about facility. Why do we know that it's okay to open on Tuesday? We got Nas back there. Why do we know that it's okay to open and that we can do it safely? So let me give you just a quick little history on what's happened in the last couple months. So for me personally, and I did put this in an email recently to our organization, that I have been a part of two major groups of basketball directors. One was sports directors across the country in many different states, from Washington, California, Colorado, Massachusetts, Illinois, in many different states. And we've gotten together and we pretty much relied on each other, leaned on each other for ideas on how we can continue to keep services going for our families. And the other organization or group that I was a part of is Wisconsin Sports Directors. And in that group mostly was made up of basketball directors and venue operators like us, the Champion Center, Center Court, Sports Enhancement Academy, that really were impacted for the upcoming season and in their businesses and their facilities that they ran. And with everything, as you know, basically what you may have realized, there is so much communication about many different types of industries, but one industry that really wasn't talked about was the sports industry and youth. Schools got closed by the third week of March, and really we in the youth area and on sports teams, nobody talks about the youth. Make sure that if you are on, that you turn off your or mute your. I'm just gonna check. Somebody's loud. I apologize. Make sure you mute your phone. There's some feedback on it right now.
Can you shut that off? You can just end that column.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So basically, with each week, a lot of the directors were waiting to see what happened, including fitness directors. You know, when can we open? What's going to be allowed? And as you see through all of media, testing, stay-at-home orders, gyms and fitness centers were the last businesses that people were even going to consider opening. It wasn't being talked about, and so the outlook was pretty grim. Here in Wisconsin, as you know, the stay-at-home order was overturned, and a lot has happened in our industry just in the last week, and literally every day since then, and every hour. So in this group that I was part of with sports directors, we had Jeremy Thiesfeld, who is a state representative from Assembly District 52 out of Fond du Lac. And he was a great source for us to get a little bit more understanding of what's going on in the political world, what's going on with Republicans, what's going on with Democrats. Are they working together? Are they not working together? What is the conversation at hand? And the other person that was also part of the conversation with these sports directors was Tucker Neal from Ohio Basketball, who actually provides huge tournaments in 9 different states for boys and girls basketball. And the one thing that I realized is that Wisconsin was not talking about youth sports and programs such as ours in terms of what are we going to do with them, and compared to other states. And there are some other states who actually had task force that were set up to address the issues for the fitness industry and for youth sports organizations. We did not have that in Wisconsin. And so when essential businesses were given guidelines to continue to maneuver their businesses and provide services to families and the community. And then other ones that maybe started being given some grace and open up, we still were not given any guidance or direction. And so Tucker Neal was on, and again, he runs Run for the Roses, which we had gone to as an organization last year. And there was literally 1,100 athletes in this venue, 800 to 900 different college coaches. And we won, by the way. I just have to say that, side note. But so he, being on a task force, had come up with like a 8-page skeletal plan on what should some of the roles in a business do to open up safely and continue to provide sports and fitness for their organizations or their clubs. I got a hold of that, and Jeremy Thiesfeld from the state representative or state legislature told me on the Friday night before Mother's Day, Lisa, hey, can you write one for Wisconsin? And I'm like, and he said, and can you give it to me by Monday? Because this was the time period between when the stay-at-home order was overturned and we were waiting for news on what was going to happen next, and people were expecting, hey, actually this is when we were waiting on what was going to happen after the Supreme Court justices heard the arguments, and nobody was sure what was going to happen. So on that Friday, after that Wednesday of the hearing, Jeremy tells me, can you write this plan for Wisconsin sports and fitness directors and give it to me Monday, because we want to have it in the governor's hands before or when the Supreme Court makes a decision, so that no matter what happens, they have it in their hands and they go, hey, we got to consider this industry and what they're doing. And so that when new rules are being made, they'll think of us. And so I'm like, sure, I have nothing better to do than to hang with my kids and create some rules. So I sat down, and with some feedback and help that weekend from different businesses, we pulled together what was called Wisconsin Smart Start. Now, in Wisconsin Smart Start, and I'm just going to share my screen really quick, you can actually find Wisconsin Smart Start on our website. So we wrote this document, and in this document, it's a guide for sports and fitness businesses, venue operators, event planners, and sports directors to bounce back safely. I was trying to get on Governor Evers' good side, bounce back safely from the COVID-19 pandemic. And with this plan, we give an introduction to what was going on in the world, what this plan is about, how we addressed the pandemic and reopening safely, what are some things that are included in this plan, and it also included research. Why do we feel that at this time, from March, based on the data that has come through, why do we feel that it's safe to open, and that we can open safely, and we can provide services, and we can get back to competitions and teams? So we based our decisions on the data that was being put out by the CDC and the DHS and the Wisconsin Hospital Association. And we created a plan that we believe is safe for our community, a plan that we know that our local municipalities can trust us with, and that our families and our community can feel confident in. And with this plan, any program, any sports director, any venue operator can take this overall plan, use the guide, and step by step implement certain roles and responsibilities in their businesses to make sure that we address every aspect of this pandemic in every nook and cranny of our businesses and with our families. And we list out 7 of the major roles in a business, whether it's a facility manager, the employees, if you're an event administrator, a systems administrator who has to deal with technology and contact tracing, and what that means, and what can a business, who's got one owner and, you know, some 1099 people versus somebody who's a bigger business, how can how can both of those types of entities handle contact tracing? What are some of the responsibilities that athletes, coaches, players, referees, and scorekeepers at tournaments? What are some of the things that they really should follow and do? And whether it's a 3-on-3, whether it's a practice, whether it's a 5-on-5 tournament, whether it's a one-day tournament or a 2-day tournament with hundreds of people, what do we do at our practices to make sure that we come back safely and come back smart? And in addition, lastly, what should we expect from our spectators? When people walk through our facility, when people walk through tournaments, what are some things that we can implement and do to make sure that we manage all these events safely, so that we can, because you got beautiful families, you have amazing kids, and we want to make sure that we come back and we come back safely. And then in the addendums, we also provide, and this is something that I'll talk about in just a second, but we provide guidance in even with the assessments, waivers, and in addition, just some guidance in terms of how to set up your venues and your tournaments, and how are we going to handle spacing, 6-foot spacing between spectators and seating, to follow guidelines that are put out there. And with that, there's resources, and in this plan, there's also any changes that were made. We've also shared that with everyone. Now, what was cool about this plan is that Jeremy Thiesfeld, the state representative out of Fond du Lac, took this plan and he shared it with state superintendents from all over Wisconsin. We connected with our state senator, Roger Roth, and Roger Roth signed off on it. He believes that it's a great plan, and that it meets the needs of our sports and fitness companies and youth programs. And they brought it to the governor, and they shared it with the Department of Health. They shared it with the Department of Public Instruction. And in that 1 week, when all of that happened, the stay-at-home order was overturned, and now the DHS and the DPI are starting to make comments about what we should do with youth clubs. And there's actually, surprisingly, 2 modes of thought. There's one agency who thinks, really, don't do anything. The safest thing to do is not do anything all summer long. And the other is, hey, as you know, our industry is really hurting. We've got a lot of, probably 50 different clubs who use public schools to practice out of. If they don't have a facility to practice, then they don't have a place to run their business. The teams can't function. They're not going to have a season this summer for basketball, and it'll impact everybody, including us, who does have a facility. So even if Blaze and 2 other programs run their teams and practices, if we have nobody else to play in the state of Wisconsin, that's not good. So it's important that even though schools are shut down, if we can run our entities safely, and we can show that we can, that we gain the confidence of those school superintendents, and they allow those schools to open up for public entities like Blaze, like Blizzard, like Wisconsin Crusaders, Lakers, One-on-One Milwaukee. So that has been the conversation at hand in literally the last couple days. So we took this plan, and even though the Safer at Home order was overturned, my husband actually, because I had 20 different calls that I was on, my husband went to the city of Appleton and the Outagamie County to talk to the people in charge over there in the health departments, to gain their trust and to show them what we're doing. And actually 3 different people said, and the last person I'll just mention is Sai Zhang, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Sai Zhang out of the Outagamie County Health Department said that, hey, the Safe Ride Home order has been lifted. He said, have a plan and make good choices. You know your business best and how to do it safely. He said, good luck. Thanks for calling and checking. And he said that businesses that had a plan were far ahead of those that didn't. We explained the meetings that we were part of with the national and state directors, the coalition, the Smart Start plan, Wisconsin Smart Start that I showed you. And he actually declined a copy of the plan and said that we're just inundated right now. They're trusting us that we're following the guidelines that were put out, and that we'll just make some smart decisions for our industry. So it's been an interesting 180 from where we were at. And so based on everything that we've experienced to date, based on the fact that you have a tremendous staff of people that are smart, Emma Kane is actually, her background is in public health. And my background is, I have a master's in microbiology, biology, and chemistry. And that's one reason I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that, a little bit of a geek, and but a very huge comfort level in understanding how the microbe and immunology of our human anatomy works. And so it's why I was able to write the research part of this plan and be confident in my training. It's a reason why I started the Blaze and really approached it from a comprehensive sports and fitness industry. Yep. Did somebody just talk to me? I thought somebody just called my name. And so I want to just let you know that you have confidence in the decisions that we are making. And with our leadership in place, our coaches who are running your teams, our fitness instructors who are running your fitness classes and programs, you can know that we're doing it at the best that anybody can in our country. And so with that, I'm just going to share my screen again, and I'm going to just share with you how we're moving forward to give you that confidence in our steps and what's changed. Because next week when we open our doors, it's not going to look like what it looked like when we closed. We had a plan to minimize our numbers in our facility back in March. We weren't able to implement that plan, but we took that plan and we added to it, we changed it, we tweaked it to make it even better. So when you come into our facility on Tuesday, and I hope that you do, we're actually going to start at, oh boy, I hope I'm saying this right. It's either at noon or 1. We're not going to have anything in the morning, just to make sure that we finish training all of our staff in all of the new expectations and responsibilities that they have to take on. So with our facility, everything is going to be by appointment only. We want you to use our app. We are providing a max of 8 workout spaces in our fitness area. We are providing, there are 3 hoops in our court area for people to work out at. In our court space, we could have 1 person at the hoop per hour, or we can have up to 3 family members working out at that hoop at one time. In this first week, until we feel comfortable and confident in our process, even more than we do now, and when we know that you feel confident in what we're doing, we will continue to open up and lax some of the restrictions that we've put in place. So with that, we definitely need you to sign up for our open fitness or fitness classes or open court times with the hoops that we make available. And it's all by appointment only. You can sign up if you have a membership. And actually this first week is free. So that's awesome. So everybody give me a cheer, yay. So we are providing the first week free just to give people just some ease of mind and just some patience as we walk through with these new adjustments. And after that, then these open gym and fitness times, you will need a membership on file. And I won't go into those those yet, but they are out there. If you ever click on something that you want to participate in, it'll look at your accounts and it'll check to see if you have a service or not. For our families who have youth athletes that are part of teams, they have trainings as part of their program fee, and that will apply to signing up for those hour time slots in the court. For our fitness members who were taking classes or who bought packs, when you sign up for one of those 8 slots in our fitness area, it'll drop you in if you have either a pack of fitness classes or an unlimited membership. So please use your app right now. We are asking that nobody just walk in and walk around. The only reason that you should be in the facility at this time is if you've registered and you're in there to work out. So make sure you do that in advance. If you do need to cancel, make sure you do that well in advance, 24 hours before. You'll notice that we have a 48-hour time limit. You will not be able to sign up for your time slots more than 48 hours in advance. We just want to keep a little bit of control, make sure that anybody who's new, we have all the information we need from you. The lobby area and bistro area will be closed. You will enter at your workout at hoops time. Somebody will you'll wait outside of Blaze, or you will have areas that you can wait outside of Blaze to begin with. We'll have designated spots for you to kind of stay around. They'll be 6 feet apart. And then a Blaze staff member will let you in the building and check you in at the start of your session. At this time, we are not requiring face masks. Face masks are absolutely optional, both for our staff and for our members. If you if you're not confident in that decision, you can wait a little longer if you do not want to be around people who may not choose to wear masks. But you do have that option. And when you are comfortable with coming through the facility, or if you're like, hey, I want to wear a mask when I come through the facility, you're more, you can do that. So it's okay we welcome people. If you want to wear a mask, please do so. And when you are working out, if you want to take it off and put it in your bag, that's good too. At the end, we'll have somebody open the door, let you in at the end of your training. After you are done, you'll gather your belongings, and we'll have a separate exit for you to leave the facility through certain doors. At this time, in what we're calling phase 1, locker rooms are not available. Water fountains and bubblers will be closed. We're asking you to bring your own water bottle. The part of the bubbler that auto fills for the bottle will be open. We just don't want anybody touching any of the spaces that really we don't have to. There's no sharing of equipment. In our fitness area, there's already 8 boxes. Actually, we have multiple boxes marked off, but every single area in our fitness workout space is a huge box. We're going to give everybody their own equipment. We have enough dumbbells, enough kettlebells, enough weights, enough bands, so that everybody gets their own equipment. When you come in, you will have your own cleaning supplies. We'll have the best disinfectant that we can wipe down equipment, and if you feel more comfortable to do it before you start, that's fine, although they will be cleaned in between each workout. When you are done working out, we ask that you wipe down your equipment as well. On the sports side, we asked for right now for our hoopers that you bring your own basketball. And we are not going to, at this time, pull out our shooting machine because we want to limit the amount of transmission and just limit the amount that we have to wipe down, so we make sure that we can handle how much equipment, how much moving is happening through our facility. When you do come in, we will ask for you to sign a waiver for each client, and we're actually still kind of debating on how we're going to do this. We are updating our waivers in the system, so it will address COVID, it will address any communicable diseases it did, but we're kind of throwing the COVID-19 name in there. So that when you come in, you understand that just like with everything, you are taking the risk of participating by just coming into a building or participating in a team sport that, like on any other day, you can get sick, you risk injury. So it's like every other day. So we are just updating our waiver to include that COVID-19 verbiage. We have staff that will be cleaning high touch services throughout the day, every hour. We are limiting flow through a building by starting our fitness classes at the top of every hour for an hour, and our sports side at the half hour every hour. So fitness starts at 8, sports starts at 8:30, and that way people are moving through our facility with limited numbers. We won't have any more than 10 people in any one area at any time. That is way, way below our capacity for our facility. We can have 147 people in our facility according to our 18,000 square feet guidelines from our plans and the capacity that's allowed. We will not have any more than 22 people in our facility. So out of 147, that's pretty safe right now. We will be closing Blaze on Saturday afternoons and Sundays for some vigorous deep cleaning. We are also looking at, I'm just gonna stop sharing really quick. We are also looking at applying a product to our entire facility on the inside that is a water-based solution. It's non-toxic, but it's a water-based solution called BioProtect. We're actually looking at 2 different businesses, and we're getting quotes from the both. We're looking at potentially applying this solution to our business, and what it does is it continues to kill off any bacteria or viruses on any hard surfaces that it's applied to for 90 days after application. And it continues to work because it actually kills off any bacterial spores that haven't yet erupted and opened up on that surface that may not have been caught and wiped clean. So we are looking at applying that in our facility. We will be opening Tuesday for open fitness and open sports. Wednesday is when our fitness classes at 5 a.m. will start. I will be sleeping in, and I do have a ton of other information I can share, but I don't want to right now because I know this is something that you can find out on our website, which is our class schedule. I will share just that one little bit of information so you don't miss this time. So right now, once we get to Monday, Thursday, we're going through our fitness class schedule will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, and 5:15. Fridays and Saturdays are a little different. They will be 40 to 45-minute workouts. So we want those people who come in to work out in the fitness area. We want you to come in. We want you to work out. We want you to clean your equipment and grab your things and leave. We typically hang out and talk, but for this time and in a just transition, we just ask that you respect those hour limits so we can get as many people through who want to come through. and that we can just stick to our procedures and our processes right now. Open fitness will happen outside of those other times. So we are providing open fitness time for people who don't want to necessarily hear the buzzer going off and they want to get in, do their own thing. They can, we've got times for that as well. We are asking that at this time that each person can only book one fitness or one open fitness or one sports session, which is 1 hour per day. So you can't go and buy 3 hours for right now, because we know there's a lot of people that are looking to get out. And so we just want to make sure that we provide to as many people as possible. Let's see, I think I've actually hit most of all of this, that we won't be providing the Dr. Dish and Blaze equipment in the sports area right now, so make sure you bring your own balls. At this time, our volleyball summer skills training will start on June 7th. We are expecting to start our one-on-ones for volleyball and our group trainings for basketball. We're talking about having a 3-on-3 league that starts in June, the second week in June for basketball. We have Blaze Beach Volleyball League that we originally scheduled to start June 14th, and we're working with the bar to make sure that we can still continue to offer that. We will be for basketball. We will be at the Community First Champion Center. So for our teams who are participating, for those tryouts that started all the way back in October, we cannot wait to get you into the gym. We will be starting our team practices for basketball on June 1st. So this first week, next week, is going to be all about getting people comfortable, getting people confident, having some interaction. And then the following week, we will start team sports. With our team sports, our coaches understand that we are going to be asking our athletes and our families to make sure that you are checking your athletes according to the COVID-19 symptoms assessment, which we will provide for you via email and on our website. So things like, make sure you're checking that your athlete doesn't have fever. You know, do they have a cough that hasn't stopped? Do they have chills, muscle aches? Those symptoms, there's about 7 of them that we will provide you that list. And we want you to make sure that you keep an eye on your athletes, keep an eye on yourself. And if you are experiencing any of those symptoms, that you stay home and that you let us know. That's the biggest thing, is if anybody does get sick, don't be afraid to let us know. We just want to handle this very safe, very smart, and we want to keep those the communication open. We won't necessarily, with contact tracing, that we do have to follow HIPAA guidelines. We have been ever since we've opened back in 2013. We know as policies, we have to protect your personal information. So whether it's credit card information, your name, your address, we're very careful about who has access to that information. And if anything does come up where, let's say you are tested positive for COVID, let myself know, let Janie know, or let our accountant or one of your directors know, like Chris in fitness or Gage in sports. So that way we can enact our next step in our process to make sure that we take action to keep everybody as safe and secure as possible. So I am going to kind of just come to a close in terms of the information that we wanted to share with you. We thank you so much for participating, and I'm going to open it up first to see if our directors like Emma, Janie, Jenny, if you want to add anything to what I said in case I missed anything. And yeah. weird. I have feedback on my own self.
Oh, that's me, honey.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
listening.
okay. Are you gonna say something?
Oh, I'm just gonna tell you, nice job. I was listening.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That was my husband. He's always there supporting me. Janie, do you have anything that you feel that we might have missed or want to add in there?
I was just going to add that the details that you went over for fitness and for basketball are all on the website. You cannot sign up yet, but all the information is there in case you want to go back and review any of the details that Lisa talked about as far as hours and prices and just the guidelines that we're following. So blaze365.com/fitness or blaze365.com/basketball. We'll be in touch with more information about volleyball as that becomes more feasible to offer.
Thank you. And actually that you helped me remember one thing I did not touch on. We did send out a survey to our sports athletes, and I did promise you we will be responding to each one of you. The first set of emails that are going to go out there were a handful of, and actually it wasn't many at all, of people who were very uncomfortable back in early May with the thought of playing any type of contact sport this summer, who did either ask for a refund, less costs, or to apply their payment, their program fee to the following season. So we are going to email that group first of people who were unsure about moving forward, and just to see if maybe you've changed your mind knowing where we are right now, or you're still in that same spot, because it does impact the teams. And actually it really was only, with that survey, there was only an average of one athlete per team who felt like they wanted to bow out in that early May. So everybody else was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait and see what's gonna happen. We really want to move forward and are hoping that we do. Now with our basketball season, I do have to say that in this June time period, we're gonna start our basketball season June 1st. 2nd for most people. We're going to have Tuesday, Thursday practices for most teams. Some teams will be a Tuesday, Sunday afternoon or Thursday, Sunday afternoon. We will push out those timetables tomorrow. Everything has changed because the Champion Center schedule has changed. They asked us to pick either Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays for our practice schedule so that they can try and get other clubs into the facility as well. So our original schedule was not an option for us. So we tried to adjust to give you something that we thought you would work for you. And actually we went with Tuesdays and Thursdays so that if we are competing on the weekends, kids like to have those Mondays off. Families like to have those Mondays off from traveling, even if it's traveling in the state. We are looking at, in talking to the sports directors, you actually can't rely on tournaments that are posted out right now, because there are some venues and some directors who they're just finding that either they're not going to run that tournament, or if they do, they're going to run it differently, or they may not run it at all. And if somebody doesn't run it at all, there's other sports directors that are picking up those weekends and putting out a new tournament. So we don't have a final tournament schedule for our basketball program yet, because there's too much flux going on in this next week. And where we're at, those directors actually need the time to finalize those dates and those plans and those locations. But in talking with the sports directors in our meetings weekly, we've had 4 different meetings in the last month. We've been talking about working together across the entire state and implementing leagues. We've talked about a circuit. We've talked about running tournaments, fewer numbers, fewer teams, rather than doing a 2-day tournament, potentially doing a 1-day tournament, running teams through in waves. So let's say 11U, 12U, they'll come in through the mornings, they'll get 3 games in, and in the afternoon, evening, an older group like 13U, 14U will come in and and play 3 games. They'll play, off, play, off, play. So, so people are adjusting their tournaments as well in order to minimize the number of people through the facility at one time, and to minimize the risk and the interaction, and making sure there's not too many people in the venue at one time. So with that, I'm going to say one more thing about the high school. For high schoolers, we've been fighting hard to have a season for you. We have some juniors that are graduating class 2021 that, you know, they don't want to experience what those 2020 seniors experience, where they lose out on their season, they lose out on an opportunity. This really is for those juniors. And even freshmen and sophomores who've been talking to college coaches, to not have the opportunity to be seen, and this is their last opportunity, it would make recruiting pretty difficult for them. This is their last chance. And we've been encouraging our athletes, and if you haven't yet with your child, if they're in high school, we do provide sports recruits to you for free. We take on that cost and try to make it up in other ways and in sponsorships. But that is probably the best platform that I've experienced and that we've used to connect you with college coaches, to put your profile out there, to communicate. And we have our own program called The Path that we implement with athletes to make sure that we meet the demands for their athletes on a one-on-one basis, and support them in their journey, and support you and your families on this journey. So make sure that that you're doing the work on the recruiting end. And if you're not sure what that means as a high schooler, make sure you reach out to me, or your family reaches out to me. If you're a volleyball player and you're a junior and your season got cut short, you've got one more in fall, you still have time. So again, reach out to me and we can help you. There are coaches, we have athletes, and you've probably have seen, even as seniors of their April, May year of their senior year, are getting offers. Some people think, oh, if I don't get a scholarship offer as a freshman, I'm never going to go to college and play. That is not the case. If you love your sport and you're passionate about it, you keep working hard, you continue to improve, and you want to use it as a platform to pay for your school, to continue your career in that sport for as long as you can, because when it's over, it stinks. You want to last as long as possible. We love our game. You have every opportunity that you decide that you have. And it's never too late. It's never too late to get to that next level. We have athletes who make decisions the spring of their senior year, and they're the right ones for them, and they're taking the steps to get there. So don't let anybody fool you. It's a lot of work. It's, as we know, as athletes, it's a lot of work. We got to do the work in the gym. We got to train. We got to study our game and our craft. But all of you who are sitting here, it just proves that you're serious about your passion, and it just shows us that you're some of the best, and you're the top in your industry. And honestly, with the people who are looking at Blaze right now, they know that we're different. They know we have high expectations, high standards, high values. Even more important, we're about family and team, and it's gaining a lot of attention, and that's a great thing, because we want to get attention from the right people who have the same cultures and the same value system, and we want to find the right place for our young athletes. We want to find the right next home for them, and ones that you as parents and families appreciate, and you want to know that those coaches at the next level will care for them just like you do, and just like the Blaze does. So I'm gonna actually at this point open it up to any questions that any family members may have. If you can, there's still 89 people on the call, which is pretty fantastic. I didn't talk you out of the webinar or meeting. So thank you. I appreciate your patience in listening to all of these details. But I'm going to open it up to you now. So if you do want to ask a question, or if you even want to say anything, give us feedback or comments, please, this is your time to do so. You can unmute yourself. Is that Brooke? I'm gonna
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Brooke Tice. I'm from Shawano.
And Brooke, you are what do you play? What do you compete in?
I'm a center.
You're a center in what sport?
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah, because we might have some just fitness people. We might have some people who play cricket in here. So yeah. So Brooke, what do you have to say?
I just can't wait to get back and start playing and stuff.
Awesome. And Brooke, what have you been doing to stay active during this time?
I've just been shooting hoops and doing the live on YouTube with Lake and James and Brett.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And are you enjoying those trainings virtually?
Yes, I am.
Good. Do you like the mix of the fitness with the sports?
Yeah. Yes, that's nice.
Awesome. Make sure you share those with your teammates too.
Okay.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Brooke, for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Who else do we have out there that wants to participate and give us some feedback, or if you have any questions about anything?
Hi, Lisa. This is Greg Scanlon here. Was wondering if the basketball season, what that might look like. I know you're saying that practice is going to start. I haven't been to the website yet, so I apologize.
No, that's fine. So the basketball season in general, what we're expecting is we will start our practices, not this week, but the following week. So June 1st and 2nd, we will be at the Community First Champion Center. Right now we have all, but most of our teams are on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and starting from 4, they'll go an hour and a half. At the Champion Center, it'll be from 4 to 5:30. Between each session, there's a 15-minute break. So then the next one is 5:45 to, oh goodness, help me out, 7? And then I got it wrong. There's 15-minute breaks in between each hour and a half session, and there's 3 sessions, and we'll end at 9. And they have their own policies in place. They're doing something similar to us. So we have 6 courts allotted to us, and each team will have to wait to go into the doors until given the okay to enter. You will see actually you may see, depending on who's before you or not, you might be the first team there, but you'll see one team leave, will be given the okay, then we will go in together as a team. So they're going to ask us actually to wait in our cars for the time being. Might be a little weird and crazy, and we'll probably have to figure it out for the first week, but we'll try and communicate even with you right there, even if I have to hold a sign on where your entrance is. But we're going to have 6 different entrances to the 6 courts, and each team will have their court. There will not be interaction between different courts. So they want to limit interaction of team to team. So we were talking about having like 2 of our girls' teams practice together. They can go at the same time, but they won't in this first phase practice together. So you won't be able to cross courts. When we're done after that hour and a half, we have 15 minutes to change out our shoes and then leave, and then the next team will come in. I'll come back to the specifics of practice. We are looking to start we're looking to actually do a 3v3 league at Blaze starting in the 2nd week of June. Right now, we're just talking and making plans for it, and we're communicating with other directors, other clubs, because, and just people in the community who are looking to get their kids back and active. We know that that is more contact, so we are addressing any issues with that. And that one too is going to be actually optional, but it's just going to provide another opportunity for athletes to just get a little bit of more competitive play outside of their practices before they go to a tournament. Because one of the things we want to make sure that we do is we slowly get our kids back into basketball shape. It won't happen overnight. We want to make sure we do it slowly, safely, they're stretching, and we come back carefully. For tournaments, we're looking at starting tournament play at the end of June, whether we do 1 or 2 at the end of June, and then depending on the team and what's available. Also then going into tournaments in July. We know that there are some families whose soccer has been canceled, so they may be able to play now, our youth late through the season. We are trying not to go too far into August. If we do with some teams, they would be the younger athletes, because our high schoolers, we know that the boys play football, and in the first week they're starting that. In the second week of school, high school girls are in volleyball. So we're trying to take all that into account and give you as many opportunities on the court and in competition that we can. I can tell you right now, we do not want to take up every single one of your weekends of summer, because I'm sure you are wanting to get on the water and you're wanting to take some trips if you can. You're wanting to continue to spend some family time together and be out in the sun. So we don't want to take that opportunity away from you, especially that you've been locked up for so long. So with that also means we won't be able to provide you with the number of tournaments that you signed up for. So if you sign up for 5, we may only get 3 or 4 in, and it all depends on the schedule and what's available. And we're working through those details in this next week, because in this next week, we're gonna know a ton more of where the directors are with the tournaments that are out there. And they're starting to update their websites, and each community, each county is a little different, only because of the venues that are there and available and what those directors are running. With practices, I spoke to our coaches, and we're actually gonna have another meeting. We had one last night. We're gonna have another meeting next week. That's why we wanted some time to prepare for the season. I'm gonna take a 1, 2, 3 steps 1, 2, 3 with our coaches. So I'm going to ask our coaches, and we're going to hold them to this, to when we start practices, let's do as much skill development training with them as possible. Let's get them, get their feet and their legs underneath them and build from there. We will be doing, we will be sharing the ball in our team practices. So we might have 5-on-0 or 3-on-0 going down the court. The first day, and this is where I say we're going to do a step 1, 2, 3. The first day, there's not going to be anything but 1-on-1. I don't want to see 2-on-2. I don't want to see 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 until our coaches and our families and our team is confident in what they're doing, and everybody just gets back into the swing of things. And so with each practice, we'll reassess where we're at, so that way we can assess better to know when the end of June comes or July comes that our kids are ready. We want to make sure that we're smart in our approach. We don't want to go too slow, but we also don't want to go too fast. So please communicate with your coaches where they're at. Just so you know, there will not be spectators allowed in the Champion Center. So if you have questions and your child doesn't want to give you any answers, and they're like, it was basketball practice, and they don't give you any more than that, please feel free to reach out to your coaches. They'll be more than happy to share their practice plans and what we're doing with them in the gym. Ooh, I just got a clap from Greg. I've never seen that before. Seriously, there's an emoticon that just popped up. So thank you. Okay. Oh, and Brooke too. And the Bus family. Yeah. Thank you. Alyssa. Does anybody else have any questions? Thank you, Bennett family, for the thumbs up. Are there any other questions?
It's Kayla.
Hey, Kayla. Yes. Hey, where's your video, Miss Kayla?
Oh, I can turn it on.
Yeah, you should.
There you go.
Okay, I am going to, give me a moment, Miss Kayla, where are you? I'm going to pin you because this young lady, why don't you introduce yourself, Miss Kayla?
I'm Kayla Banky. I'm graduating in 2021, and I'm on the Inferno team for basketball.
Wonderful. She's so smart, too. Love this girl. What do you have for us today, Miss Kayla?
Yeah, I have a question about like coaches viewing for tournaments. Do you know anything if they're going to be able to view us during those tournaments and that kind of stuff?
Yes, that is an excellent question. And I know I did not hear that or address that. So right now, the NCAA has extended the recruiting dead period through June 30th. Now, dead period sounds not really good, but it's actually not too bad. So it was first extended through April, May, and then through June 30th. The recruiting dead period means that college coaches, and this is through the NCAA, so it's for NCAA coaches, D1, D2, D3, at all those levels. They right now cannot have contact with athletes face-to-face, but they can communicate with athletes via email or over the phone or text. So right now, college coaches can't go watch athletes compete through June 30th. It is pending, Kayla, and all the high school athletes, it is pending on what's going to happen in July. Everybody is waiting on the edge of their seats. The Wisconsin basketball, the Women's Basketball Coaches Association and the National Association of Basketball Coaches was actually encouraging the NCAA to extend that recruiting period through July, which would be pretty devastating for 2021 athletes, and even for the coaches who, there's only so much that you can see on video and what you can get from interacting online, even though they said these interactions on Zoom and everything that they've been doing so far have been great. They really need to see athletes compete live, and so they don't want that July timetable taken away from them. Just like Republicans and Democrats and independents, everybody has a philosophy and an opinion on what should happen. And so there's a lot of debate going on what is going to happen or should happen in July. So we're still waiting on that news. If coaches aren't going to be at tournaments in July, it may impact how far we travel, which tournaments that we select. So I'm actually expecting them to make a decision in the next week or two. And if they don't or can't watch our games in July, regardless, we videotape all of our games and we have them available on Huddle. And that way all of our athletes can share those full game films and highlights with college coaches. That's why we invest in Huddle. And but that is just the NCAA. There's also other associations. The National Junior College Association, their coaches are actually, they were told that they're allowed to travel in July to go watch athletes compete. So those coaches don't have restrictions. The NAIA, I still have not heard where they're at. They haven't decided one way or another just yet, but I'm sure they will make an announcement soon. So there will be some coaches at tournaments for sure that we know. We are just waiting to see where the NCAA coaches are going to be and if they're going to be present. Does that help you, Kayla?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. Any other questions out there right now? I know you don't want to just look at me. We still have 57 participants on. I think you guys just like hanging out on Zoom.
Hey,
Hey,
are you excited to be back?
I am so excited to be back. It's been a load off my shoulders to know that I have a say. I'm not very good when, like I said, when people tell me no. I find ways to fight back because, and I don't want to say it in a bad way, but if just it's just that athletic mentality. When somebody says that we can't do something, we work hard and we prove to them that we can. And we want to instill that drive and that confidence in our athletes. And so through those last 2 months, when we were pretty restricted, it was tough. But now that we're given a green light and people all over the state are starting to look at our Wisconsin Smart Start plan, I feel so good. I can't wait to get back on the court with our athletes. It's going to be a blessing. And I know all our coaches feel that way. I see the Hygis family up there. Hey, hey, hey. Hi, Emily. Hey, Emily, actually, I'm glad you're there. I'm going to unmute you right now, and I'm going to pin you, if that's okay. Let's see. Oh, make sure this. Did you hit unmute? Okay, now I got it. I got you. Okay, I'm going to pin you. So the Hygis family, wonderful family, just like all the many ones that we have, actually run the Copper Rock out of Appleton, and we absolutely love them, and they support the Blaze, and they have many children that are participating. I just want you to say hi to everybody, Emily, and give us a little update on how Copper Rock is doing and what you're providing for the community right now and where you're at.
Oh, yeah, Copper Rock's doing okay. It's good that we can start to have people come back into our business again. We've stayed open the whole time, using curbside pickup, Uber Eats, etc. Our Northside location has a drive-through, so that's been good. Yeah, definitely been tough, on anyone who owns a small business. Lots of changes. It seems like every day, every hour, there's a new piece of information coming out on how you need to do something. But yeah, we're staying strong. We're really trying to reach out to as many as we can. We're trying to stay open to keep our staff there, because a lot of them just need some hours and need to make some money during this as well. So yeah, but just doing the best to keep everybody safe and to keep as many people employed as we can and to keep the doors open. Keep people caffeinated.
Yeah, we love coffee. We have it every day, every day. So if you get an opportunity, please support Copper Rock coffee houses in your area, because the Hygis family is so wonderful, and they are great people, and they're great. They run a great business, and they care about their families that come through. And they do support the Blaze, and we'd love to support them back. So please make sure you stop in, say hi. You will find people behind that counter working hard for you.
Well, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, and same to you. You run an awesome operation, so we love being a part of it and love to support you too.
Thank you. Thanks, Emily. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Little men.
Help it.
I love it. I love it. They're
only three of them here, but yeah.
Hi, guys. So handsome. Love it. Is there anyone else on the line that has any questions at all right now, or would like to give a little bit of feedback? Even on the trainings that your athlete has been doing, anything that you want to talk about or need to, that'd be great. Let us know. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else to say, I know Hudson usually does, we will wrap it up. And actually, I will, Janie, would you like to close out? Is there anything else that you'd want to tell those who are still hanging on, or Chris, if you want to say anything before we log off, that'd be wonderful.
I would just say to please follow us on social media, Wisconsin Blaze or Blaze Sports and Fitness on Facebook or Instagram, because that's where all of our updates will be coming, as we'll update our website as well, Blaze 365. So if you follow us there, you'll be in tune with the latest and greatest news from Blaze.
Excited to have everyone back.
Yeah, Chris, I got a cute little face there. You got to give him a like farewell cheer.
Yeah, right. A burpee. All right, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing everybody again. Please, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. We are here for you almost 24/7. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We will answer you as soon as possible. And we look forward to training champions for life again, face to face. So thank you.